Good afternoon. My name is Greg Vaca. I'm the founder of Grava Properties. On behalf of myself and Richard Connor, my partner, who's somewhere around here, we'd like to welcome you all to Founders Square. Thank you for braving the cold. It was supposed to be 50 degrees, and it's not. So thank you all for making it. So we are here today to celebrate the delivery of the first phase of this, I think what everyone will now agree is a real transformative project. So that first phase is what you see here. And I think if we as a state and as a town are going to continue to enliven our special places, which Windsor Center certainly is one of the very special places, we have to demystify it, right? We have to show people what this is. And so this is what we're talking about, right? We are talking about small businesses, people in this community, people coming to this community, who work out of these spaces. These tenants, we have a real estate office, we have a plant shop owned by someone also from Windsor. We have a bakery from folks that are just up the street. And a gift shop that you know well, that's been in town for a long time and is a real pillar of this community. And now we have a new cafe bistro from folks that have an operation in Hartford. So everyone local, everyone really invested in this community. We also have 70 apartments that are now thankfully half leased. And so we have new residents coming in, and that's what you see here above these retail units. So I think, when people come and say, oh, there are going to be apartments in your town and there's going to be new stuff, this is what we're talking. It can be something that looks like the rest of the town. It can be something that contributes to the town. And so I think Richard and I and at Grava are very proud, to be able to, be a part of what is certainly, and we didn't start it. I mean, someone noted, I think Jane and Sharon have both said, this has been going on for decades. This is not the beginning of something, nor the end of something. This is just what building up a community looks like. So it's been a long journey. I think a lot of people here have been on that journey with us. And we were hosting a real estate event on the property a few weeks ago, and when we go through everything that it took to build this place, it seems like a lot. It's like, oh, we needed to have a tax agreement with the town and funds from the state and a loan that would really reflect the phased nature of the project, and buying state land and getting zoning changed and all that. And people, at this event we were having, someone said to me, well, how do you do all that? How did you do all that? How does one put all that together? What does it take? And so I'm here today to tell you what it takes. And it takes all of you. That's how this gets done. It takes so many of the people I see in this crowd, contributed to this and built it. And so, it's not Richard and I out here building it. It's all of the people here in this crowd. It's, I'm looking at my sister here who put me together with the family and vouched for us and said that we were serious, and they believed it. And then the Mastrianis themselves, who did the deal with us, they had to be patient and wait, a year and a half for us to get everything in order. And, the bank, Luke Kettles and Wayne and the team at Windsor Federal had to put the financing together, and it was a very challenging time when that happened. And Jane Garibay, who's here, had to sponsor the bill that bought the land that we're all standing on, right, which was ex-state right-of-way. And down the line, Joe Sisnicki and the whole PAC team, well, they actually built it, right? So the physical buildings, and that we added a challenge to that in changing the project midway through and expanding it. So while we were building it, so Joe, words cannot describe it. That's an inside joke. This takes a village, and it takes this village to build and revitalize a village. I'd like to go back into the meeting where this community came together in 2012, and someone took a Post-it note and put it on a map of the center in the location you are standing in and said, we should put a building here. Someone did that. A member of the community did that. And then the town's consultants and the town's leadership said, yeah, we should do that. We should put the buildings back where they used to be. And so I'd like to go, I would love to know who that anonymous person was that did that. But really, it takes that guy. It takes all of you. It takes all of us together to build the place that we want to be. And you know, I'll just say, the best part, you know, there's been a lot of rewarding parts to delivering a project like this. The most rewarding was, I think, when we were in the Minetta Moments ribbon cutting. Where's the Minetta Moments folks? We were in the ribbon cutting, and you see all these people that you know, you guys, the people here in this crowd. And we left there, and we walked by the gift shop, and we wave at people we know in there, and buy some people, and you're like, this is it. This is the reason we're here. This is why we're doing what we're doing. It's to build more Windsor. It's to build more community. And it has been, a labor of love and certainly a great and proud moment to be able to do our small contribution here in delivering this project. So, it's a wonderful project. We have apartments still available. To give you a little idea, we have, 70 apartments in the first phase. Between ones and studios. The studios have their own, bedroom enclosure. We have in-unit washer dryers and stainless steel appliances and walk-in closets in all of the one bedrooms. We have some interesting outdoor space, a beautiful community center that's filled with local art that we sourced from folks in Windsor and folks from Greater Hartford. Really a place to contribute and build on the wonderful community we have here. We have a pet spa and saunas. Although only humans are allowed in the saunas, no pets, is what I'm told. So, we're really proud of what we've delivered here, and I'd like to now bring on a few people that were really integral in making all this happen, starting with Matt Puglisi. He is the Deputy Commissioner of the Department of Economic and Community Development. We were awarded a $3.2 million grant, which was the critical piece of capital to get this done. Again, without that, this project would not have happened. We would not be standing here. It's programs like this that the state has very smartly put together and funded in order to get these sort of important community, building revitalization projects done. So let's like to invite Matt to come up and say a few words.
Thank you, everybody. It's great to be here on behalf of Governor Lamont and Commissioner O'Keefe. And the award, the $3.2 million that Greg just mentioned, that came under the Communities Challenge program, the Connecticut Communities Challenge program. If I can go back a couple of years, just to give perspective as to how this all came together, I think when Governor Lamont first got elected, we remember going on the debt diet and really ratcheting down how we were borrowing, but also how we were investing in our state to get our finances in order. And then, under Commissioner Lehman, Governor Lamont greenlit the Connecticut Communities Challenge program. It was a $100 million program to invest in downtowns, in vibrancy, in housing, in commerce, in transit-oriented development. And this was one of the first projects that was awarded under that Connecticut Communities Challenge program. We can throw a baseball and hit the train station. We are on Main Street in Windsor. We are infilling in a place that there was a building, and then there wasn't a building, and now there's a building and a pet sauna. We are bringing community together. We're creating that density. We are doing what every downtown that I visit is asking for. We are bringing ground level commercial space, and we are bringing residences on the upper floors. This is the mixed use development that every downtown is asking for, and Windsor has it. And it really is that vision that Governor Lamont and his administration, a series of commissioners that have thought about these projects, have thought about these programs, and have found ways to not just do it by themselves, but to do it by leveraging these state dollars alongside private risk and private investment and great community leadership. This is the This is the first project in that first round of Connecticut Communities Challenge that's complete. And I do just want to highlight Mayor Black Burke and Peter and Patrick, the great team that the town of Windsor has, because this is multiple projects that we've cut the ribbon on this year together as a group. And our DCD's Sheila Hummel, the project manager on this, and her team for the great job that they've done. So it's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be part of this administration and the work that we're doing to bring communities back together like we are here today in Windsor. So thank you very much, Greg.
Thank you, and I'll say the experience working with DCD has been incredible. So thank you, Sheila, and the whole team. It's been very easy to work with the state, and we really look forward to continuing our partnership on the other projects we're working on. Like to welcome, I say next in order here, Luke Kettles from Windsor Federal Bank, the only bank headquartered in Greater Hartford and right here from town. So thank you, Luke.
Congratulations. Thank you for coming today, and on behalf of Windsor Federal Bank and our partners at Freedom Credit Union and Savers Bank, we are happy to provide the senior financing on the project, and I want to thank and congratulate Greg, Richard, the Prenovo family, and others, stakeholders, as well as the town of Windsor and the state of Connecticut, who obviously were crucial components of this project. And it really is interesting as I think about this town and the fact that it's the oldest town in the state, and it's obviously seen a lot of changes over the several hundred years it's been in existence, and this is just another iteration, and I look at this as kind of the linchpin for the renaissance of downtown Windsor. There's a lot going on, and I think this is the first piece of that, and I think you're going to see a lot more to come in the years ahead, and on behalf of Windsor Federal Bank, we're happy to be part of that. We've invested in our facilities and continue to look to make sure that we contribute to downtown as well. So congratulations, Greg, and best wishes for continued success here in downtown.
Thank you. So I'd like to ask Jane Garibay to come up and say a few words. Jane has been involved in everything downtown related for a long time. I've known Jane since I was a little kid on the swim team in Windsor, though there will be no comments about that in her prepared remarks. So thank you, Jane, so much. And again, the part about buying this land, that was such a critical piece to getting enough space for parking and all that. So thank you so much for your contribution.
Thank you. I was going to make comments about his swimming because that's where he learned his tenacity, which you have to have for any project like this. But I'm really excited to be here today as we officially cut the ribbon for Founders Square, a project that represents vision, collaboration, and the very best of what can happen when people believe in a community's potential. First, I want to give my deepest thanks to Greg Vaca and Richard Connor over there. Their hard work, determination, and again, the tenacity have brought to life a vision that not only fits beautifully into the fabric of Windsor, but gives us something we can all be incredibly proud of. The commitment to revitalizing this space reflects a genuine belief in our town's future, and we are very, very grateful. I also want to thank my colleagues in state leadership for supporting this project, as well as Peter Sousa, Patrick McMahon, the town councilor, Mayor Nouchette Black Burke, who were instrumental from the very beginning. Their tireless work and steady advocacy laid the foundation for what we are celebrating today. One of the things I love most about this project is the positive ripple effects that are already being felt. Just the other day when I stopped into Family Pizzeria, the owner couldn't wait to tell me how excited he was. He shared that one of our new small businesses up here in the front, the Blue Dragonfly, had already begun referring customers to him for dinner. He talked about increased foot traffic, new faces, and a renewed sense of energy downtown. And that's just one business that I talked to. This is what community economic development is supposed to look like. businesses supporting businesses, neighbors supporting neighbors, and a shared momentum that lifts everybody up. So today is not just about ribbon cutting, it's about celebrating a great project. And if you notice, there's a tower in the back. If you're wondering what that is, that's my princess castle. Right, Greg?
Yeah.
But imaginations and perseverance. And when I talked about his swimming skills as a little boy in a Speedo with my son, imagine the tenacity, the hard work, the dedication, it all transfers to now. I didn't bring pictures, so. Founders Square is more than a building. It's a statement of confidence in Windsor's future. To everyone who played a part in making this possible, thank you to Greg, Richard. Congratulations to all the small businesses, the families, the neighbors. I am honored to stand with you this afternoon, and I cannot wait to see all the ways Founders Square will continue to strengthen and inspire our community. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to have the mayor come up, Nushette Black-Burke, to give you a little bit about the town, you know, how much town involvement goes on here. I mean, we're at the town hall every day, you know, to move everything forward. And, you know, this project would not have happened without a lot of things, but, you know, Pat McMahon and his team establishing a tax increment financing district here, and we were the first to avail ourselves of that. That was another critical piece to the puzzle. So,
Thank you so much, Greg, and good afternoon, everyone. I did ask our town manager to come up with me because the work that I'm able to do, along with our town council, our deputy mayor, Darlene Clace, I know she's here. Okay, she is here. And all of the councils that I have served with, prior counselors, this is something that we wanted to see. We wanted it to happen for Windsor. So this project does fulfill a long sought after goal of redeveloping this particular parcel in our town center, right? For me, it was like, oh, Arthur's Drug Plaza. But what I'm grateful for is that I'm able to bring my children here to Founders Square, right? And I love the idea of this being a Renaissance project, reinvigorating our beloved downtown Windsor, right? So excited for that. So thank you, Greg and team, everyone who was involved in ensuring that we have a place to go to. It's walkable here in our downtown again. I loved a few weeks ago, I was watching folks just coming in and out of the small businesses here. That's what we want to see. We wanted that vibrancy to return to our downtown center. So thank you for making that vision a possibility. 2 years ago, we broke ground right here. I believe it was in December of 2023. And look where we are now, a project that has been completed. So thank you so much for your hard work. To all of the small businesses, we are excited that you are here. That's the wind, I didn't do that. All right, but we are excited that you are here, and we look forward to years of continued success for our downtown area. Patrick and Peter, thank you. Thank you for always considering what can be in Windsor. To Windsor Federal, everyone that had a hand in making this a possibility, thank you for doing that. Mr. Pugliese and team, thank you. Windsor is excited about what's to come for our future. Thank you so much. God bless you. And again, please continue to support Founders Square and all of the small businesses that are here.
Just to echo Mayor Black-Burke's words, I want to say thank you to Greg, Richard, all the other investors, and the team that put it together. I see Chris Alfred here from Alfred Engineering, a homegrown firm that was instrumental in doing all the civil work here, as well as the PAC group. So thank you for everyone for coming out. And just think about this. We're going to have over 70 apartments here that are going to be, people are going to be spending money in our community and making that money world go around and around. So thank you very much for that investment, Greg and Richard.
All right, so before we conclude, I would like to thank the entire design team. So, you know, this is a big effort where a lot of people are involved. Jack Kemper of Kemper Associates Architects of Farmington, you know, we wanted something that looked like the town and looked like, you know, the real old school New England charm of a village center. So Jack and Mark, thanks so much for pulling that together. Chris Alford, who did all the civil engineering, as was mentioned. Doug McGaw, who was our structural engineer, and Mark Gendron at Acorn Engineering, who couldn't be here today. But so thank you to the whole design team, and I think just in closing, thank you to our families. You know, Richard and I, you know, couldn't do this without the support of our families as well. So Abby, Mafe, thank you so much for supporting us. To my parents who are here and, you know, would watch our kids when we needed some extra work time to get all this done. So thank you so much. Please, after this, we have, you know, all the businesses open. So please come and you know, take a look. We have cupcakes and coffee and some other things to warm up. So let's cut the ribbon. So if the speakers could come up and if we could be joined by Senator McCrory. Who's going to hold it?
I'll hold this in.
I can.
Oh.
Get the right.
Oh yeah, in front of the podium.
Unrivaled here first.
Yeah.
Back to me when I'm sane again. The sun is setting over Old Town, and one more year standing down.
All right.
Empty rooms, but it won't fit. No, it just won't fit. We'll be making our homes and our meals and our beds with standing down, sleeping in, crying out. So call on me, darling, on a good day. Call me by my real name. The one that I really can't say. But hope to hear one day. Hope to hear one day. You can find me, my darling, in all